This morning at the start of a 36-hour tour of the whole of our country. That's what we're going to do today. And if you want to avoid chaos, the way we need to avoid chaos, you need to listen to this, sir. It's important. If you don't want chaos, you need to get out and vote Conservative. I have a very clear message for anyone in a Liberal Democrat held seat, and that is vote Conservative. And I'll tell you why. If you vote Liberal Democrat, you don't know what you're going to get. Nick Clegg was very clear at the weekend. He's just as likely to support an Ed Miliband-SNP government that would bring the country, in my view, to a juddering halt than he is to support the Conservatives. So if you prefer me as your Prime Minister, vote Conservative. Don't leave it to chance, wherever you are.
Hello, take care. Cheers, thank you. Hello, morning.
Morning. Morning.
Morning, Morning.
I'm not going to start talking about politicians and Friday. I'm going to talk about the British people and what they do on Thursday, because that is what matters in this election. And you know, I think there are so many people in this election still making up their mind, still trying to decide what to do. They're thinking, you know, can we do better than this government? Now, my answer is absolutely yes. And I'm going to show in the closing hours of this campaign, I'm going to fight every step of the way for our National Health Service. I'm going to fight every step of the way for working families. I'm going to fight every step of the way for a Britain that can do so much better than it can under David Cameron. Now, my opponents might want to start talking about the outcome of an election that hasn't happened. I'm going to focus on getting the right outcome of that election for the working people of our country.
Great kitchen. Early, or is it?
Pardon?
You always come in this early?
Yes, 8 o'clock.
So, Carl, I better go say hello to
Chef Andy. Yeah, let me introduce you.
Andy, hello. I've got to say hello to the head chef. I can't go to someone's kitchen without saying, how are you? All right? One. What? There are no discussions. That's not the way it's done. We set out what our red lines are, and you know our red lines are balancing the books fairly, not imposing pay cuts on the public sector, funding the NHS properly, valuing mental health, protecting our schools and nurseries and colleges from cuts, giving further tax cuts to people on low and middle incomes, protecting our environment. We've set out those red lines in public. There are no sort of behind the scenes discussions going on in private, because we now need to await the judgment of the British people about what they prefer. Do they prefer the stability that the Liberal Democrats offer, or the shambles and chaos of a lurch to the right or the left? And then we'll react to the instructions handed down to us from the British people after the election on Thursday.
The legitimate government is one who can command a majority in the House of Commons. It's that simple. Governments are those who can put together a majority. So if there is an anti-Tory majority, if that anti-Tory majority works together, then we can get David Cameron out of Downing Street. Now, I've made very clear that that's what the SNP will want to do on Friday morning. Ed Miliband has given the impression that he would rather stand back and watch David Cameron continue as Prime Minister than work with the SNP. But if that's what he does, he'll never be forgiven.